Yo, we back. It's the Talk Nice podcast. It's your boy Beezo. I got my guy Nev with me. Nev, what's going on today?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Man, as I told B before we started off, let's pod. I got a lot to say.
Man,
I got a lot to say today.
So, of course, third week in a row. But this week, we got LeBron making a decision. Finally. Came down, I think, middle of last week. He chose the Sixers. Shocking to everybody. We was on here talking last week, and I thought that was the furthest a team that he would pick. I thought he would do Cleveland, ended on, put a bow on the career, ended where you came up at, or you would go back to Miami, unfinished business, I guess. Him and Pat Riley, they ended on bad terms, so go down there and, figure out, get that fifth title, try to match Kobe, but I guess he's going to do it in Philly. It's funny though. Philly, he is going to be commuting from New York to Philly. So I'm like,
Elephant
that
in the
was
room,
funny to
bro.
me when I heard it, and I was like, oh, so it must be a story behind that, because
Elephant in the room.
I was like, yeah, I mean, you wanted. I know for a fact he wanted to end his career as a Knick and be that savior to bring us a championship after 54 years, and we threw that monkey wrench in there. So just let me know what you was thinking when you heard who he signed with, and what was your reaction?
I was at work. In the middle of doing a couple more files and whatnot, and my phone rang over. I don't want to play like, super cool guy, but I wasn't surprised because it just seemed like a LeBron type thing to do, to hop on to a team that looks pretty strong going forward. And I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. Like I'm out here slandering LeBron. I think that he's the second best player of all time. But the narrative around his career is he's a front runner. I don't think that there's been a point where LeBron has built anything or been built with anything outside of the first offseason where he's there. So I didn't really feel any way. It doesn't move me the way that it's moving the NBA culture right now. It doesn't move me the way that it's moving NBA media. He's 42 and he's going to the Sixers. This might be the Patrick Ewing on the Sonics type thing. You know what I mean? It's the type, because it's so out of pocket. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what every team that LeBron has went to, there's been some form of story around it. Miami, it was, I'm going there to go play with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. We're going to take less money so that the three of us can team up. The Miami Heatles, whatever you wanted to call it. When he went back to Cleveland, it was the return to win the championship, to play with the young guns, Kyrie, and then you go out there and go get Kevin Love. Then when you go on back to L.A., he wanted to settle there. He wanted, for his family to grow there, everything like that. Philly is way out of pocket. And I think Philly is like second fiddle to, I wanted to go to New York, and this is the next closest thing because I'm damn sure not going to Brooklyn.
And this is exactly what I was going to say. This is a consolation story. This is not the ending arc of a 24, 25-year career. This is the consolation story where, like I said, he initially, and I know for a fact in his heart, he wanted to sign with New York. If New York would have lost in the finals to San Antonio, that would have been the storybook ending to a great career, legacy defining season in New York. Coming to join Jalen Brunson and the rest of the guys, and being the savior for New York, and being the guy that was able to bring a championship to New York City after the 54, and it'd have been 54 years if we would have lost in the finals. But again, like we were saying in the first episode that we did, the Knicks shook up the NBA winning the championship. It caused a lot of rift for players that were looking to say, okay, you know what? I think I want to go to New York. And this is from Giannis having to be shifted over to Miami, because I know for a fact he didn't want to be in Miami. He wanted to be in New York as well. And then LeBron. LeBron is like, okay, this is finally, people have been wanting this since 2010. Again, for him to sign with New York and be that guy. It's New York City, so outside of that, I could probably make another $1 billion just off of endorsements and everything in the city. I bring my wife there, with all the entertainment and everything. She can get her feet wet and continue to keep growing. What she's doing on the outside, I got my daughter. So LA, New York, it's not a big transition of lifestyle living because they in the 1%. So you're going to be with the 1% regardless. But the funny thing happened on the way to the off season, the Knicks won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
So now what do? I got 5 teams that I could potentially sign with, and I'm going to do my diva thing and say it's my daughter's decision. And then you come up with the Sixers. And the only 2 words you could use when it comes to the Sixers for LeBron is ring chasing. I just heard the other day he was really adamant on going once they got the trade with Jaylen Brown done. So now he feels like he's the missing piece. You know how he always says, I'm the missing piece to the championship, this, that, and the third. I heard he had a sit down with Embiid. Embiid said he's healthy. You can take that with a grain of salt. And I could say you're
A grain, though? A grain? Come on, man. Not a grain. That's not
I could say you're a bridge in Brooklyn if you believe that man going to be healthy for 82 games.
Grain.
So, but this is typical LeBron. Let me hold NBA hostage, and then I'm going to veer left because his plan didn't work. Normally, his plans work. The Braun, Wade, and Bosh thing, we was able to pivot. We wanted Melo. Melo signed a 5-year deal, so let's bring Bosh in as a conciliatory guy, and we're gonna do the big 3 thing. And now we looking at, on paper, a talented team. Now that we passed the decision, we can get into the real inner workings of what do you think this team looks like for the season and going forward? What do you see pros and cons with that team?
Pros. It's gonna be must see TV because everybody's gonna be watching it. Of course, all eyes gonna be on Philly. I think that they don't stop moving in an upward trajectory. I think that they'll be okay. However, those are my pros as of right now. You got LeBron. The economy around Philadelphia is going to kind of go up, and those things like that. However, the cons, I think he's. I hate to say it like this, but he's kind of the same thing as Embiid. He's going to slow the team down. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh yeah, he's going to run point X, Y, and Z." No, he's actually going to slow the team down. LeBron is 42. Maxey is what, 24, 25? Edgecombe is about 20. Those are the 2 guys that you should have been building around. And then you got Jaylen Brown is about 26, 27, maybe 28. The team needs to be younger. It didn't need a LeBron. It sounds crazy to say, but they didn't need a LeBron because you basically put a yoke around their neck again. But you take Embiid off the floor, the team plays entirely different. Now you put LeBron in, and now everything has to be LeBron-centric because he's now going to play point guard. You take a lot of these guys off the ball. You take Jaylen Brown off the ball already, and I saw that you posted something about him getting rid of his ego for the season already. Then you got Maxey, who's really good on-ball player, who's not going to have the ball in his hand, and Edgecombe, who his development, LeBron ain't good with young players, so his development is going to be a little bit stunted. So it's a lot there. Again, like I said, like the last pod we talked about the Sixers, I think whether or not LeBron went there, I think that they're like, maybe I'd give them now because I think did the Jaylen Brown trade happen? So give or take, I'm sorting through this as we speak. So give or take, I want to say they'll be about between the 3 and the 4th seed. If they're better than that, shoot me. But I think they're between the 3 and the 4th seed, and they might make it to the conference finals. Might. But I don't see anything more than that.
So, and everything, the things you hit on, I definitely agree as far as what the cons are with the team. For the pros, I think they have enough firepower to be top 4 seed. Absolutely. I don't, just off the fact of the way that the two veterans, you want to call, LeBron and Embiid, the way they're going to be during the season, I think they have enough firepower to do 50 to 54 wins for the first season, because I think they're going to I think they'll stumble out the gate just because the chemistry got to get right. And normally when you throw teams like this together, it's just a natural thing for chemistry issues
Right,
to
and not to
happen as soon
mention
as
that
the season starts.
this is last minute. Look how late LeBron signed in.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
So no, absolutely. So I think that's one thing that we gotta look at, and then two, like we said, Embiid, they put the report out that he said I'm healthy, and the new owner for the Sixers said this is the first season where he hasn't had to deal with any surgeries or anything, any setbacks. So and then again, you take him at his word. That's your, that's your loss, or you know, definitely I wouldn't bet on it. So that's one thing you got to deal with, missing games with Embiid. How many games is he playing back to backs? Is LeBron playing back to backs? We know this past season in LA, he missed time. And then watching him in LA, the team wasn't better when Luka wasn't there. It wasn't better when Austin Reeves wasn't there. It seemed like LeBron was kind of a detriment to the Lakers sometimes because of who he is. So you got to give him leeway. You got to, I guess, move aside and, like they said, put your ego to the side, as Jaylen Brown said he's doing, and let him dictate how the game is going. And so to me, I want to see what Nick Nurse, this is like coach of the year building for Nick Nurse with this team, because high usage for 4 of the 5 starters. Edgecombe, second-year player, not really much usage, but he was developing. But you got 4 guys that either need the ball in their hand or are going to be looking to get the ball in their hand to make plays. So, 1, can you put your ego aside? And then 2, are you good with your usage coming down? And then what happens when you got a Jaylen Brown who's like, I can take the last shot. You got a LeBron who is not known to take the last shot, but he makes the wrong decision. You got Embiid. Is he on the court to end quarters? Because we got to look on the other side of the ball. We can talk about them scoring all day. Who's defending? LeBron is not the on-ball defender he was at 42 right now. Maxi's never been known to guard. I've never heard somebody say Maxi's locking somebody down. Embiid is a cone, pick and rolls, straight up defense. Cat was killing them. Jaylen Brown, probably the only guy where you sit there and say, okay, we got in his prime 2-way player, and you got VJ Edgecombe. So that's another thing for me. And then the last one is pace. Like you said, how do you get the best out of Maxey and Edgecombe and Jaylen Brown when you got the 4 and 5 guys, or that starting 5, who can't run? Embiid can't run. LeBron is not a spring chicken. So what do? You're going to put a whole new offense in here, and then is it going to work? You understand what I'm saying? Like, they were known for running. Like, when they played us, you could see in game 2 when Embiid was out, they run and gunning. And then Embiid comes back. Do you feed the post and then work from the inside out? If LeBron is, what does that pick and roll or pick and pop look like with Embiid? So it could be deadly, to be honest with you, with a locomotive at 42 and Embiid who can step out and hit the 3 occasionally. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. I know they probably scheduled to play us anyway in that opening night. So it's going to be real interesting to see how they work out with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm a Debbie Downer, whatever you want to call it. I'm just not. I'm not really into the whole Sixers thing, and I'm not into it. I don't see it getting him another title. A lot of people talking about how he's gonna be. You got to put him in a conversation with Jordan now for real if he gets another title, or you got to shut up now about. I don't want to hear it. I don't think that they win a title off this. I mean, I'm not even going to put the hypothetical out there. They get to the finals. I don't think that they're beating anybody. And I just don't think that they're beating anybody.
I got to see it before. Like, they do this whole anointment thing. They did it last season, Oklahoma City. Nobody's beating them for the next 5 years. And then they anointing the Spurs, even though the Spurs lost. The Spurs is here to stay. A lot of this is projection. And, yeah, you can look on paper, but I'm like, I ain't never seen nobody win a championship by putting their name on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's other things, that go into winning the chip and sacrifice, removing your ego, a lot of luck. And the Sixers haven't had luck in a long time when it comes to health. So I'm like, I like what they did. I mean, they took advantage of a situation with Boston being dumb, and then LeBron, signing a 2-year, $8 million deal. But we got to see how they put it together. They bench. There's a couple names that Anthony Simons, KCP. I seen online they talking about Drew Holiday getting bought out, and the Sixers is looking to bring him in. This is normal though. This is a normal thing when you get superstars that come together and team up. Then you get the older guys that want to
tag on,
tack on with a veterans minimum. I'm like, that shit don't work. Like, it rarely works. The first year you put it together. So we'll see how that goes. And Philly is not patient. I lived in Philly for 10 years. Them fans, New York fans is knowledgeable and they crazy. Them Philly fans get violent when things don't go their way, especially with their football and basketball. That town is crazy.
Yeah, I worked for the Sixers organization. Well, the G League organization, the Blue Coats coming out of college, and being in Philly for for the better half of 3 years, they go hard for the Blue Coats, literally. So I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree with you. So LeBron got 2 years. He got a 1-1. If by the middle of the year they ain't doing nothing, Philly gonna have his head.
Yeah, they going as soon as you get 2-3 game losing streak, or he got to sit out a couple games, they going crazy at him. And I really think this 2-year deal is a 1-year deal. I really think he wants to put all his eggs in that one basket and try to get a championship and then ride off into the sunset. Yeah. I'd be surprised if he pick up that player option at the end of the season, depending
on
$4 million.
Nah.
How it goes.
I don't think.
I really think it's something. He was right. It's not about the money. I really think he wants to get his 5th championship with a 4th team, and people will start to dissect his legacy and say nobody's ever done that before. Nobody's going to stack teams when they feel like the team they on, it can't get it done no more. All right, I'm out. Let me go team up with X, Y, and Z and do that. Yeah, let me
put this question to you. Since you saying that for 5 teams, 4 championships, would it be 5 championships or 5 teams? Do you consider him
5 or 4?
Do you consider that? Do you consider him a journeyman at this point? I know it sounds crazy, but normally,
it's the ultimate journeyman.
Normally, these guys roll around the league. No one really plays for 6, 7 teams. I mean, end of the bench guys, but you're talking about maybe bench guys who contribute. They play for about 4 or 5 teams throughout their career. So, and we call them journeymen. Like you would say, I think Alec Burks journeyman. You call, guys like that journeymen. So, is LeBron a superstar journeyman? I mean, no disrespect.
Superstar journeyman. Like they'll never say it because it's LeBron. But come on, you playing. This is your 5th team, and we can say he went to Cleveland twice, but still in all, this is your 5th team. This is the 5th time you played. You changed teams. Yeah, you would be a journeyman. Anybody else that does this is not getting the fanfare or the recognition or accolades to say this is my 5th team. And regardless how it goes, this is what his legacy will be. Because now it's not, to me, the Jordan thing is over. And the Jordan thing, it's been over for me. Like, it's been always Jordan 1, LeBron 2, and then we can go, for the rest of them. But it's always been that to me as far as the greatest player ever.
Realistically, that was over for me after 2007. For me,
I've never looked at Braun and said, yeah, he's gonna. Now, mind you, had he did this all in Cleveland,
oh yeah, different conversation.
Then it's a different story, whole different conversation.
Different conversation.
But when you doing things and you making it seem like, and then he manipulates the situation to make it seem like it's not what you looking at. Like, bro, I see what you're doing. Like, let's be honest here. You move when it's time to move because I can't be losing. So, all right, Cleveland, they ain't get it done. I got my man in Miami. Let's go see what we could do. Oh, this is over with. Let me go back to Cleveland. They got Kyrie. They got a little squad up there. I could be that. And people will say, well, they ain't become a super team or a championship team until LeBron got there. You're absolutely right. But nobody else is doing that shit. And I don't jack it. It's like, bro, stay one place, make it happen, stop being a diva in the NBA, and go ahead. If you want to leave, leave. Just like with his son thing, with the son, I want to play with my son. No, you don't. You just want to get your son a spot in the league, and that's fine. Nepotism is everywhere in corporate America, so I'm not mad at that. And it's a black man. You did what you were supposed to do, but don't play in my face with this basketball thing, man. You know why you went to Philly. You feel like you don't have to do as much because of the talent around you, but you're going to have to do as much because it's going to be more than just X's and O's. If you were a real leader, and you got to bring that team together and make sure that they sacrifice it for the greater good. And can he do that? Remains to be seen.
Yeah. Listen, man. The narrative around LeBron's career is crazy. And it's not what I ever thought it would be. But it is what it is now. Like, the constant movement, it's a throw off. It's a throw, just like KD, throw off. And I'm not getting away from the topic, but you look at those superstars from that era. A lot of them never stuck in one place. They moved around constantly. So now we have a generation of players that it just looks off to me. So
now it's no longer like when I was younger, it was superstar played 14 years with the same team, from Patrick Ewing, Kevin Garnett, to Michael Jordan, lesser extent Barkley, but he got traded. He didn't ask out. Guys wasn't asking out. Guys, if it was beneficial to the team, then they was moving people as it got to a certain age. But guys wasn't asking out. Like, you go from Braun, and then KD was even worse, and that's a whole nother conversation about his legacy and what that looks like after the Warriors championships and what he's been trying to chase since then. So, LeBron set the precedent.
But I think
I'm not a fan of it, but
I think this was a topic that we had discussed talking about. I think the core of this conversation is a topic that we had discussed talking about, where we were talking about, are the kids more beneficiary now because of NIL, or were they more beneficiary because they were getting it out the mud? When they got it out the mud and they got to the league, they were appreciative of the city that they went to. So they stuck with it. And no matter how hard it got, they stuck with it. No matter how much times they lost, they stuck with it until that team could build a contender around them. Look at I hate to use his name, but John Stockton and old boy. Look at them.
Yeah.
Look at Gary Payton. He played where he played until he could get a championship. It wasn't until later that he got, and that's why it looked so strange at the end of these players' careers when they would go somewhere else. Hakeem Olajuwon ended up in Toronto, and everybody's looking crazy. Like, yo, this is crazy to me. And I think I love player empowerment. I appreciate player empowerment, But at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, the league would benefit so much more if these players stuck with their teams, especially the superstars. We're not talking about the top 25, because if we could get 5 or 6 superstars, let's start small, 5 or 6 superstars that are going to stick with their team and let that team build something around them. I know we don't trust the governors, don't trust GMs, X, Y, and Z. Fine. But let them, build a fan base. You build people you love that follow you to this team, that follow this team because of you. And it becomes a better branding to give to the league, because you go to China now, everybody knows this is John Doe from Orlando, and we know Orlando. Then you get it benefits both small markets and big markets, and it makes the NBA much better. That's just my thing, and I think it was better when you got it out the mud. Now everybody's just AAU. You can jump from one team to the next team, and this team to this team. You gotta have all the talent around you. Nobody wants to enhance any talent anymore. You gotta have all the talent around you. Just from Jump Street, you get into free agency. LeBron, look at LeBron. He gets into free agency and he has a pick 'em of who he wants to play with. Because you can't tell me he didn't pick up the phone and call Contavious Caldwell Pope and say, yo, you got to come over here to Philly. I'm over here. They were teammates before in Los Angeles. Not.
Yeah, that's why he wanted the buyout.
Not to say
exactly why he wanted the
and
buyout.
not to say KCP. I don't think KCP really got anything left like that. But that's LeBron, buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I know the eras change, and I might sound like an old man shouting from the stoop, but to y'all young people that's listening, it was much better back in the 90s, 2000, early 2000s, when you could say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Orlando Magic tonight because T-Mac playing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna watch the Pistons tonight because Grant Hill's gonna be on it tonight. Isaiah Thomas gonna be on it tonight. Jordan over here in Chicago tonight, so I'm on it. We don't got that anymore because every offseason, because I remember my dad, I was watching ball and he's like, oh yeah, and old Jamaican guy, he watched basketball but passive. So I'm there watching the Knicks the other day and he's like, don't Nerlens Noel played there. And I'm like, no, Nerlens Noel been gone for about 6-7 years now, buddy. But because of how when he came to America, he knew Patrick Ewing was on the Knicks from 84, from the time he got here until he retired. So he's thinking, once a player is there, they always there. And that's just, I think I'm rambling, but
yeah. I definitely understand what you're saying, and it's a different time, it's a different era, and even what you hinted on with the NIL is it becomes a less of a I need to prove that I'm worthy of being here to I belong here because of the money that I was given before I got here. So now I'm an elitist status, and I can dictate if I want to stay here or not. Yeah, you drafted me, but I have cachet because of what I built up before I got here, where I can now put the ball. And I don't have a problem with players, dictating their future. But when you're doing it just to be doing it, or you're doing it and it's not a genuine thing, like especially, and maybe because I'm old, I'm used to seeing players have pride in the team or the city that they was drafted to, or if anything happens where you need to be traded, but you embrace that city, it's not that you can't be traded. Everybody can get traded. It's when it's 4 or 5 times. It's like when you are the catalyst for the movement because you don't like what's going on in the city or you don't like what's going on with the team. It's crazy to me. So I definitely understand what you're saying, and it's just different. Like, you don't get the same energy. You don't get the same competitiveness. Everything it seems like it's performative to me. When we was coming
you could
up,
buy a jersey 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. and you know that same player gonna be on your team in 3-4 years.
Now you got a closet full of jerseys with the same name, different teams. You just buying jerseys every season. And even coming up with AAU or coming up with in high school, it was competitive. People wanted to, cook the other person in front of them. I watch these games now, and these kids, it's like, I'm going to play a little bit of defense, then I'm going to just open up, and you can get to the lane, come down, dribble, pull up, and that trickles over into college, and that trickles over into the NBA. So,
as you say that, I have my kids playing early on in the summer. It's done now, but I have my kids playing in this camp, this basketball camp, right? And just to tell you what the competitive, I'm just getting my boys into basketball. My twins, the oldest ones, they're both 7 years old, so they not really. I don't even know if they athletic yet. I just put them out there and say, y'all go play ball. When we got there was I think it was an 8-year-old, and his last name was Best. I don't know the rest of his name, but I know his last name was Best. And his dad rolled up in a Rolls Royce. He had the Kobe's on, the whole get up and everything like that. And his father was out there coaching the hell out of him. And I remember at one point he said to him, yo, forget about defense. You got to shoot that thing every time you get the ball. And I'm like, wait, he's only 7. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
For me, it's like when I'm there with my boys, now they're old enough that I'm trying to teach them a little bit here and there. It's like, yo, all right, work on your dribble package, learn how to lay up, aim for the square on the back of the basket, bank shot it in, do what you can do, but don't try and No, it's actually people out there trying to get their kid to the bag now. Like it's no longer a work on everything so that you can be great at something. Nah, he going for it.
It's pull up. It's shoot. Don't worry about everything else. It'll come later, or it may never come. But you out here putting on a show. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get you viral, and then we're gonna get you on ESPN. We're gonna get you here, and and now what it really is, and even though we veered off the topic, which is still a good thing, a lot of these AAU kids are sons of former NBA players. If you notice, a lot of these top guys in these classes are former professional athletes, players. Look at Marcus Spears' son, who's number 1 in the country. Jamal Crawford, Chris Paul. So a lot of these, and that's because they have the money to put these guys in these type of camps in schools, and you no longer see a lot of inner city kids, especially coming from New York City. Coming up, New York City high school basketball was the pinnacle. Now a lot of those guys head to these Oak Hill Academy type schools. And I think it just takes away from the competitive of the game. So, which is crazy to me. All right. Speaking of, now that we know LeBron is with the Sixers, how do you see the East shaking out? And do you really believe, with all that movement, if Kawhi, in that investigation, whenever they finish that, if he gets over to Toronto, do you think the Eastern Conference has surpassed the Western Conference as a whole?
The question don't even need to be done. Yeah, the Eastern Conference is going to be better than the Western Conference.
How you see that top 8 looking?
Top 8? Oh, okay. I want to say in no particular order, but I think the Knicks are kind of. I think the Knicks will coast through I think they'll coast through the regular season. I think that the Knicks will be on a high. I think our team will be on a high from the championship. They're gonna be riding that the whole season through. So I can see us getting close to, if not 60 wins. Even if not, I don't think that they fall any further than the third. Then you have, I want to say Boston's still gonna be up there. I'm not going. Just regular season, I think that they're still going to be up there. I think Orlando's going to be really good. regardless of how much I don't like the head coach, I think that collection of talent is still good. Then Philly. Miami will probably be between 5th and 6th. I think Charlotte's going to be pretty good. Washington's going to come somewhere within that 6 to 7. After that, Indiana. I think Indiana's going to be around between 5 and 7. I don't think they're gonna have it all together. I think Indiana will be between 5 and 7. Of course, Detroit. I forgot all about Detroit. I think Detroit's going to be somewhere between that 4 and 8 range, because I think the Jalen Duren thing, there's some smoke to that, and I think that's going to mess up a lot of the chemistry. They also lost their veteran leader, and Tobias Harris. He's going to, where did he go? He went to San Antonio. They lost that veteran leader of the locker room. So now you're basically solely dependent on Cade Cunningham, and he doesn't seem like that rah-rah type of guy that's going to kind of rally the troops and allow way. So we got to see what the Jalen Duren thing is going to do, because regardless of what he did in the playoffs, he was still a pivotal piece to that team. On anything they were building around him. So, and that's why we're at the impasse that we're at with him. So I know my list was kind of funny, but it was just ranges, a bunch of ranges. But I think those are the top 8. I just listed 8, so those are the top 8.
So I agree with you on, I think the Knicks keep that one spot, just because they are battle tested. They have the chemistry and camaraderie. They have to me, in my opinion, best player in the Eastern Conference in Jalen Brunson. And then they brought back everybody but Mitch, and replaced him with Andre Drummond. We'll see how that works out. But I like them. I thought last year, like I said before, other than that 2-9 stretch, I think they were a 60-win team. I think they were constructed as a 60-win team last season. And they had a little hiccup after the NBA Cup. So this season, I think they can get close to 60, if not hit 60 wins. Even with the enhanced Eastern Conference. After that, I got, I want to say, I either got the Sixers at 2. I got Boston at 3. If Toronto gets Kawhi, I got Toronto at 4. I got the Cavs at 5. I got the Hawks at 6. I got Miami 7th. And then I got Indiana 8th. So I would have, those would be my top 8. And then Orlando, they got to prove it to me. Like they got the talent. They got a new coach, dude from San Antonio. Even though I don't, his mentality, that nonsense he said about the 46 minutes, San Antonio would have won. I'm not sure how smart he is off of that stupid ass comment, but I think Orlando has the talent to surprise me and get into that top 6. But for now, I got them outside the top 8, and I like Atlanta being in the mix as well.
Cleveland.
And that plan.
We forgot about Cleveland.
No, I
forgot about Cleveland.
I had Cleveland at 5 behind Toronto.
I forgot completely about Cleveland.
Yeah, I got them at 5 behind Toronto, depending on how this Kawhi Leonard situation plays out. And from what I'm hearing, they talking about this can go into 2027. So I'm not even sure if Toronto's just going to bite the bullet and say, we're going to pay the fines or whatever and just let's get them back to Toronto. So, because, that seems to be up in the air. But if they get Kawhi, they top 4 to me. And to be honest, I got Detroit outside the top 8 too. It's gonna be tough, man. Somebody missing the playoffs. One of these teams is missing, man. Because I'm looking in from last season, and it was Miami, Indiana was on the outside looking in, and then you got the up and coming Charlotte. Um, so if somebody misses the playoffs, it won't be us in New York, but somebody missing the playoffs next season, that's supposed to be a good team. But
I could see Miami missing it. It's sad to say. I could see Miami missing it because, bro, look at the entirety of their team. They had poor roster construction, and it, like you always say, Milwaukee South that's what it's starting to look like to me. And they could miss.
I don't see nothing happening. I don't hear nothing. I'm hearing Bradley Beal. I'm hearing Klay Thompson is getting bought out. I'm like, them guys don't move the needle.
Don't move anything.
Them guys, if this was 7 years ago and you told me that was going to happen, I'm with it. But right now, in the version that them two are, they don't move the needle for me. So I'm like, and then they talk about, Davion Mitchell, he looked like he taking the next step. I'm like, have y'all watched Davion play? Like, nobody's scared of him on either side of the ball. So they could miss this year. But I think Giannis, if he's healthy, and Bam will get them in that bottom
at least the
4.
play-in. Yeah, I mean, like I said,
at least the play-in.
It's all subjective, and the East is super deep this year. So,
but I think the biggest fall off to me is going to be Detroit, just because, like you said, the Jalen Duren situation. It seems like it's going to tear that team from the inside out, as far as his trust levels. And then they lost a couple guys that was dead eye shooters, and I still don't see a second option in Detroit where they can trust when Cade Cunningham is on the bench, or if Cade Cunningham goes out for a couple games. That was the problem they had last season. There's nobody that can create offense. And you lost to San Antonio.
The Long Island zone.
Who's
Tobias.
Yeah, Tobias Harris. He up there with Chandler Parson as far as ski masking these
organizations. Yes.
Paydays.
Yes. Absolutely.
So I don't know, man. It's gonna be
a bloodbath.
It's gonna be a bloodbath in the East. I can tell you that. Everybody better be ready, strapped up, and ready to go. And on the West side, it's two teams and then everybody else. It's OKC and San Antonio, and then everybody else. I'm intrigued with Minnesota. With LaMelo going over there, I'm intrigued to see how that works. And if Ant can actually take that step to be a killer out there on the court, like really take that next step to be that guy that, regardless of what's going on, I'm taking over, because he has the ability. But it's something missing in the mentality when I see him. Like, maybe it's the settling for jump. It may be the settling for jump shots, and same thing with LaMelo. Like, if LaMelo ever gets serious, about basketball, it could be deadly. Like, if he really this summer, if somebody really said, "Look, Melo, the whole shooting off one foot and playing, like, really sit down and focus and get it together," dude, if they
told Melo, and I'm gonna pull this one. This is gonna sound crazy, but if they ever told Melo to lock in, like, fully, Melo has the talent, and I've known that since he got into a little bit before he got into the league. Melo has the talent to be about just real close to a top 5 player in the league. Really close. Really, really close to a top 5 player in the league. And Edwards as well. He locks in, and Edwards is top 5 in the league. Easy.
So, but that's always a big question mark especially with LaMelo. And that's what was happening in Charlotte. I'm like, the talent is there, but your mentality is whatever. It's like, I think I said this before, when somebody has natural talent, but they don't love what they doing. Like they have the natural
Mm-hmm.
talent to be great at something, but they don't love it, so they don't put that extra effort into it to become the greatest at it. He has that natural talent, but then his mentality is, I know I can wake up and get 30 with 15
Mm-hmm.
assists if I
Mm-hmm.
want to, but today I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
So y'all gonna get what
Yeah.
y'all get, which is 40-foot jumpers off of one leg. We're gonna get the Rucker Park passes here, regardless of his turnovers, and then y'all just got to deal with it because I ain't feel like playing today. So if he get that out of his system and he know, because it only you was in Charlotte, Minnesota said they seen something in you. Ain't gonna be too many more teams
I see
saying,
something in you. Yeah.
I see something in you. It's gonna be
You
okay.
are what you are.
You are what you are, and we don't
Yeah.
want you. So he better cash in on this, and especially with Ant
I think
Edwards,
they're gonna
man.
be all right
I
though.
want to
I
see.
really do think they're gonna. I think they're
Yeah,
gonna
I
be all
think
right
they.
this year. I think they're gonna hit around that 50, about 50 wins this year. I think they're gonna be all right. They're gonna be a threat. I think the problem they'll have is their length defensively with OKC
Yeah,
and San
yeah,
Antonio.
San Antonio. But San Antonio was kind of, I don't know. San Antonio was kind of small outside of Wemby. They just they play hard.
They're
Like
they're they're I mean, small is relative when you really think about it because all of those guys got long wingspans. Dylan Harper, the wingspan
yeah,
is long. He can defend. Stephen Castle, we saw it in the finals. He can defend. He's a decent player. As much as, I hated him during the finals, he can defend as well. Vassell, great
yeah.
defender. And all of those guys can get shots. It's just that they couldn't get them on their own. Now, does Dylan Harper take a leap? Does he take food out of De'Aaron Fox's mouth and he takes a leap this year? That remains to be seen. I still don't think that Minnesota makes it over either one of them, and that leaves them between a rock and a hard place with their build because you don't have any one. What are you going to do with Wemby? You really don't have any mobility at the 5 position anymore. You don't got a cat rolling out there no more. You got Rudy Gobert, who is he's a paint guy. He can't guard the perimeter. So I think once they get deeper into the playoffs or deeper into the postseason, it'll get really tough for them unless Ant Edwards and LaMelo go completely unconscious and you can't do anything. You can't do anything. Then yeah.
And I think Dylan Harper is starting by December for San Antonio. No,
It's the money,
I just
bro.
think
It's the money that I'm looking at.
you at this point. Listen, I watch. I know my eyes told me San Antonio was a better team with Dylan Harper on the court and De'Aaron Fox off the court, regardless if he making $60 million or not. And if that money is going to keep you from having a potential star on the court, with the go with Wemby, that's a problem. Like Dylan Harper
I'll tell you this: the Knicks
is that guy.
I think the Knicks still win the finals, but they playing a little longer if Dylan Harper is on the floor. They playing a little bit longer.
I appreciate him. I appreciate him for taking him out and putting De'Aaron Fox in. But I'm watching it and I'm like, this kid is a rookie and he was getting to it. So, like I said, by December, if not by the trade deadline, if you find something where somebody is malcontent and can match that salary with De'Aaron Fox, I like De'Aaron Fox, but yeah, that Dylan Harper in the backcourt with Wemby out there, yeah, that's tough. That's real tough. With Steph Castle, who has the heart and the mentality to be a dog, yeah, that's gonna be tough. So yeah, he gonna have to play his way into that starting position because coming off the bench, and I don't even think he wants to come off the bench.
It's already
no sacrifice.
it's already in already in the media that he was through some back channels. He was telling them that he wants to start. So there's already that coming out. So
yeah, so this is gonna be a interesting year coming up, man. Like I say, they say, when the Knicks are good, the NBA
Mm-hmm.
is good, and turned it on their head. So, shout out to them Knicks again, world champions, and NBA is scattering like the roaches when the lights come on, trying to do something different. But I can't wait till October, man. But I know who's hype. They was talking about the 80 greatest players. Did you
Yes,
see
I
the list?
did.
What'd you think about that
Man,
list?
so I think we said something about these 80 greatest players or 80 whatever players lists last pod. I think we were talking about the 80 greatest 3-point shooters last pod. This time we got the 80 greatest players of all time. These lists are absolutely awful, and I'll give you a reason why. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at 64 over Nate Archibald, over Bernard King, over Alex English, Earl Monroe, Pete Maravich. Like, I'm not saying that no one can ever get over these people, but come on. He's still got a long way to go in his career. Then you have, no disrespect to Carmelo. Melo shouldn't be on his list and Brunson ain't here. No way. No way. And I love Melo, but he shouldn't be here and Brunson's not here. Russell Westbrook should not be here and Brunson's not here. I don't care how many seasons of triple doubles he had. It doesn't matter to me. Clyde Drexler at 46, insane. Gary Payton at 42,
So,
insane. Patrick Ewing at 37
so you
with Kawhi Leonard.
you think that's too
I think
high?
that's too low.
Too low.
I think that's too low. Charles Bart.
So let me ask you: do you think some of these players are there because you factor in
No.
championships?
Can't be. Let me tell you why. Because you got Nikola Jokic over Dwayne Wade. Like, one chip over Dwayne Wade has 3?
Yeah.
One chip over 3. You got Nikola Jokic over. You got Charles Barkley over Isaiah Thomas. If we talking rings. You got James Harden over. I'm looking down this list. You got James Harden over Paul Pierce for rings, over Kevin McHale, over Walt Frazier, Robert Parrish. You got Dwight Howard over Chris. I mean, if we talking rings, absolutely not. I don't. This list is, as they used to say back in the day, fugazi. This is crazy. This is insane.
So looking at it, because to me, I'm looking at some of these guys and I'm like James Harden, like Chris Paul, like they're great players within what they do, but
I don't think they should be there yet.
you think I think it's a little too high, and some people are a little too low. I personally think Melo should be there.
Kawhi's too high. Kawhi's too high.
But I'm trying to figure out what would make them.
What was the
what
right?
was
What was the
criteria?
aggregates for
'Cause
this
that's
list?
what I'm trying to figure out what what was it? Because I'm like,
Damian Lillard at 52.
so that's what I'm trying to see here. Because I'm looking at the list and I see the accolades, I see the regular season rankings, and you got to put some stock into, like with Russell Westbrook. I really think Russell Westbrook is a top 25 player to me, just because how difficult it is to average a triple double in the era that he played in.
I'd keep him in the top 80, but I wouldn't put him top 25 though, because he was really the success. While it was there with KD, it wasn't there by himself. So I knock him for the success, but the triple doubles thing, it is something. I give him that. But in the top 80, he belongs there. But top 25, no. I think I respectfully disagree.
I get that. I put a lot of stock into like guys that can do, like Nikola Jokic. He's another guy, average a triple-double. But it's hard to say because it's the criteria. Like the top 10, I understand. But outside of that, and even with the top 10, like when you look at, because I'm trying to see what accomplishments do you really keep, like guys like Bill Russell there? When we watch, I mean, the 11 rings, do you keep guys like Will Chamberlain there? Does it become a point where it's just these names that you can't remove from the top
I
10?
think
Do guys not get into the top 10 because they're always in the top 10? And I'm like,
I think every name is removable. Every name is movable. I think every name is movable. It's just what are you going to do to move them? I think Steph Curry should be top 10. It's easy. I think Steph Curry should be top 10. I think every year that someone does something great, Bill Russell moves down. Or every time we get another great player, I think Bill Russell moves down a little bit.
like even here, like you can give me the top three: Kareem, Michael, and LeBron. Shaq to me is top
Top 5, yeah, for sure.
player of all
For
time.
sure, without
I think
question.
Shaq. Yeah, I think Shaq his dominance. It just put I wouldn't put Shaq below 5 in any ranking, and then that would move Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain down. I would move
Tim
Tim
Duncan's
Duncan
right
up.
behind Shaq to me.
Yeah, I would move Tim Duncan up because these guys, I think he's accomplished more. As far as defining what the power forward position is, consistently for over a decade. Then some people would say Kevin Durant at 12. I personally, I have a love-hate relationship with Kevin Durant as far as his spot and legacy in the NBA because of what happened after the Warriors stint. I think moving from team to team and not producing or even being a winning player kind of diminished his spot. Now, talent-wise, yes, top 10 talent, but you can't win on your own. Like, you're not a winner.
KD is top 5 talent of all time. I have never
Talent-wise,
seen anybody score like that. But do
you put him?
No,
Is that? But when you look at the tail end of his career, that doesn't factor into where he is slotted.
No, absolutely not. I don't think that he's. I don't even think that he's 12. I think that he might be somewhere within that top 20, but 12 may be too high. 12 might be too high. Top 5 talent, but top 20 player of all time.
Yeah, I can go with that. Absolutely, I can go with that because it's absolute. Like I said, I have a hate-love relationship with it. Like I know I respect him. For what he's done, but the post-championship movement kind of diminished how I look at him as his legacy is concerned, in my opinion, especially how sensitive he is when it comes to being able to. He's not a leader to me.
He's not a leader.
And I look at that a lot for great players. I look at you. Are you a great leader?
With his talent, he should be a 1A. But he loves being a 2. He should be a 1A.
I don't respect that mentality.
But he loves being a 2. And
that's what keeps him out of my top 10. Like, I don't respect that mentality. Like, if you not the top dog and you know you're the top dog and everybody else gets in line behind you and you go to places looking not to be that guy because you don't want the responsibility.
And that
I don't. And this is why on the other end, I respect Melo. I think Melo has that mentality. Now, winning culture, not so much. But his mentality has always put him to where I'm like, this
you have
is
to
a guy
respect him.
I'm going to war with.
Yeah, to
So
respect. It's a couple. Steph Curry. Steph Curry should be high. I think Steph Curry should be top 10.
Steph Curry should be no lower than 7th, regardless of whatever list you put together, because he
The game.
revolutionized the
He did.
NBA and the
And
game,
he had
and you've never seen
he
nothing like it.
there was a I want to say it was like a 3-year span where he was basically unguardable.
Yeah.
He was virtually unguardable because as soon as he stepped in the arena, I know it sounds like conjecture or whatever, but as soon as he stepped in the arena, it's a heat check. So he was virtually unguardable for about a 3.5 year stretch, I want to say, until he got injured.
Yeah. So, but I like these lists. They make for good conversation. We definitely had a good pod today. I appreciate your insight, Nev, as usual, every day, every week that we on here. So we appreciate y'all listening. We hope that we gain some more listeners as we continue to build, continue to perfect this thing that we're doing. Definitely leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Like we said before, if you want to reach me on social media, it's at _Beezo, BEEZO __. Definitely hit that follow button if you don't, or leave me a comment and let me know what you thought about this. Nav, give them your information so they can reach
if you want to
too.
reach me at on social media, you can get me at Nevin S. Palmer on X or Twitter, whatever they want to call it these days. But you can reach me there, and just let me know how you feel about the pod. For real, we are trying to make this thing go worldwide, international, multiversal, whatever it is. You understand? So stick with us as we moving up.
Absolutely appreciate everything that y'all took your time and listened to us. Nev, I appreciate your insight. Again, I appreciate you being here every week with me. Definitely looking forward to building this out into something great. Y'all like, share, and subscribe again. Talk Nice with Beezo. Every week we here. We not going nowhere. We got our insight. We got our opinions. Share yours with us. And we out.